During my 37 years in uniform, I often wondered why there wasn't a National Museum for the Surface Navy. The Naval Aviators have an extraordinary museum in Pensacola, Florida. The Submarine Force has 3, the Navy SEALs have 2, and the list goes on. Well, this year, that's all going to change. After 243 years as the Navy's premier fighting force, we can welcome all Americans to the National Museum of the Surface Navy at the Battleship, Iowa.
The United States Navy's surface fleet has protected America's interests and her citizens since 1775. The primary mission of the National Museum of the Surface Navy is to raise awareness of the importance of the Surface Navy's role in international relations, free trade, humanitarian assistance, and technological innovation. But the National Museum of the Surface Navy is envisioned to be much more. It will serve as a community-based, veteran-focused, and STEM-enriched facility to be located aboard the venerable Battleship, Iowa, along the LA waterfront in the port of Los Angeles. USS Iowa represents the pinnacle of battleship evolution and is the natural home for the Surface Navy Museum. She served a vital role projecting American sea power across the Pacific in World War II, protected Allied troops ashore in the Korean conflict, and, reconfigured for the missile age, served proudly in President Ronald Reagan's 600-ship fleet that eventually won the Cold War. Perfectly placed at the nexus of tourism in Southern California, Iowa is already in the top 10 as both a museum and a tourist attraction. In fact, the Battleship is already home to a new and very important exhibit, Lost at Sea, celebrating Dr. Robert Ballard's many expeditions to find and honor significant warships and their crews lost during times of war.
Well, I served in the U.S. Navy for 30 years, and when I moved my ship, the Nautilus, here to San Pedro, naturally I had to link up with the folks on the USS Iowa. But they have an amazing team here, and the exhibitry that they do is such top-notch professional work. And you're going to love this Lost at Sea exhibit. And they have been a really amazing tourist attraction here in San Pedro, but it could even be more, as the National Museum for the Surface Navy may be coming here, expanding the story of the U.S. Navy.
The museum will cover the span of the Surface Navy's history in thematic exhibits that are accurate, compelling, and engaging for children, teens, and adults. Since 1775, the Surface Navy has ensured security, freedom, and prosperity for Americans and free people everywhere. Able to sail anywhere in international waters, the Surface Navy's global reach deters aggression, protects the free flow of international commerce, and acts as a forceful deterrent to piracy. The Surface Navy has been called upon to provide humanitarian assistance and disaster relief during crises around the world and in our own country. The Surface Navy's technology has adapted to its evolving role at sea. Ships transitioned from wood to steel, from sail to turbine engines, from radio telegraph to satellite communications, and the stunning improvement in armament from cannonball broadsides to cruise missiles that can find and destroy their targets far beyond the horizon. But of course, the ships and their technology are nothing without the American sailors that man the Surface Navy's ships. We will build on the extraordinary accomplishments of the Battleship Iowa over the past 6 years to be a future-oriented museum that already meets the vision of Museum 2040. The museum's 3 pillars are education, veterans, and community. With an emphasis on STEM topics and careers, Battleship Iowa has formed ongoing partnerships with several local organizations to bring school-age kids aboard to participate in fun, yet educational programs.
I was thinking, how cool would it be to sleep on a battleship if you're just a boy?
Battleship Iowa has become a haven for many American service veterans who have found the return to civilian life difficult.
I felt like when I walked back in this space, after years and years and years of being away, 23 years of being away, I felt like I was home again. Yeah.
Battleship, Iowa is an enormous platform on the waterfront. We're a tourist attraction, an economic development engine for the community, a veterans organization. We are so many different things. Iowa is making a difference on the waterfront and has become the centerpiece of redevelopment in the Port of Los Angeles. The United States Surface Navy has been and will continue to be first to deploy, first to engage, first to help. The National Museum of the Surface Navy will honor that service, educate the American people in the importance of that service, and enable America's preeminence through continued service.